Good evening, and you're listening to Real Talk with Bruce Cole. First off, would like to say Happy New Week. I want to apologize if I haven't been on as I planned. I've been a little bit under the weather, but I wanted to come to you tonight and just talk to you just for a short while. You know, a topic that has been heavy on my heart, and a lot of us may be pondering it and considering it because of the current state of our economy, the environment that we're currently in. There are so many of us that are jobless right now, that are in the trenches looking for a new career opportunity, looking for a job like what we had, just trying to get back on our feet. Some of us are at the brink of unemployment is about to run out, and we just don't know where the next is going to come from. And so I want to talk to you about a plan B. Do you have a plan B? I was always told growing up, you never put all your eggs in one basket. I didn't understand what that meant as a child. I always thought literally when you go shopping, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Boy, was I wrong. I come to learn that you can't always bet on the same number. You can't always rely on what you're currently doing or what you currently know. That's why it's important to expand your horizon. That's why it's important to have multiple skills under your belt. So in case if you have to shift gears, such as a lot of us are doing now in the time of COVID, you're able to shift gears and you're able to still survive and have a peace of mind and be able to, have a good quality of life. All my life since I've been, in college and out of college, I've always worked in healthcare at some capacity. I first started off working in healthcare as a direct report staff, working with mentally challenged patients, helping them with their day-to-day living, and I did that all while I was an undergrad. And then from there, once I graduated, I actually went to go work for a DME company. And I did that while I was in grad school. And then I went into managed care. And while I was working in managed care, I really got my first taste of the pharmaceutical world, a world that I have come to learn, to love, and to respect, and to just have a deeper appreciation for. So I worked in managed care and I worked in pharmaceuticals, and I got a chance really to understand, everyone's model of the world and see how the salesmen work and see how the client really what they're asking for from a hub perspective, and how we can support the client in their effort to support the patient to have a better quality of life. And so I've done a lot of things, but all been in healthcare. So there's multiple different areas of healthcare I could go into. I left working in pharmaceuticals for about 3.5 years, and when I moved, I actually went to go work in managed care yet again, and I went to go work in the medical review division and got a chance to learn a deeper and different perspective of healthcare, being compliant and dealing with ethics and always dealing with PHI. And then I decided to go back into pharmaceuticals in the consulting role. And to say all that, what I'm saying is that make sure you have a plan B. Because plan A may not always work. Right now, you may be in your plan A. But no one knows what the future holds. No one knows what tomorrow holds. You may be in a situation where plan A no longer works. And it no longer works for you in that season of your life. So then you may have to shift over to plan B. Plan B is going to be what's going to sustain you. Plan B is going to get you through and get you to the next forward moving point in your life. So don't always put all your eggs in one basket. I've listened to so many people here on LinkedIn talk about, losing their jobs and not knowing where they're going to land or go into because they've only done one or two things and they really want to go back into the same field. And I was one of those people. Me being someone, this is the first time in my life where I have been out of work for an extended period of time. I cannot remember a point in my life from the time I was 16 years old that I have not worked. Even when I didn't have to work and my parents were, urging me to focus on school, we will take care of you. I always wanted to be independent. And January of this year really was a hard blow for me. This was the first time I've been out of work for almost a year. Almost a year. And I know that if there was no such thing as a coronavirus, I would have went back to work sooner. But it took me a while to tap into the fact that I have a plan B. Yes, I've worked primarily in 100% healthcare in various capacities. I've worked in a hub. I've worked in leadership roles. I've worked in a project manager type role. I've even worked hands-on being with mentally challenged individuals. So I've worked in various aspects of healthcare. But it took me a while to understand that it's okay for you to shift gears and to revisit a part of your plan B that can sustain you. And just in case plan A is not working the way that you want it to. Because we're all worthy, we're all knowledgeable, we're all eligible, and we're all valuable assets that any organization would be lucky to have us on their team, as a part of their team, helping build their organization to be what they want it to be. Of course, we're going to get rejections. Of course, we're going to get no replies from interviews we've went on, and they're discouraging. It's discouraging when someone tells you you're not a good fit for the team, or I hate to inform you, but they went with someone else, or you just don't hear anything at all. It's very discouraging, but that's okay. Every rejection is a redirection, and every redirection is a plan B to your plan A. It may not be the answer that you want, but sometimes plan B is the right answer. Sometimes we hold on to the very things that are not good for us. They may be good to us, but they may not be good for us. And and I will say in my previous career as a field reimbursement manager, I thoroughly enjoyed my job. I thoroughly enjoyed supporting the projects that I was a part of and helping patients gain access and removing, those access barriers. But there was a part of my career that it took me a while to understand and learn a work-life balance. I missed out on so much. I was gone literally 16 nights out of the month. My life consisted of B&A airport, rental car terminal, hotel check-in, hotel check-out. I was on the go constantly. I missed a lot of birthdays. I missed a lot of recitals. I just missed a lot. I even missed a lot of taking care of myself health-wise. I love consulting. I love reimbursement. That's what I'm passionate about. And it makes my heart just, filled with joy to hear an office say that a patient got their therapy and they're able to stay on therapy. Because I too know what it's like to be sick. I too know what it's like to want to have someone who's just as passionate as I am about my job, to be working on my behalf to help me gain access to medication that I need that's going to sustain my life and help me have a better quality of life. So to say all that, take what you've learned and what you've loved of plan A and apply it to your plan B. Don't let the rejections and the outcomes of plan A determine and be your final chapter. Have a plan B. Have a plan C if you need one. But always have a plan to be able to dust yourself off and get back up and try it again. I thank you for listening. This is Real Talk with Bruce Cole. Have a good night.